What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my series on surviving the unemployed life. A big dreamer living in an unfair system. This is part 8. So if you guys have not seen part 1 to 7, go and check it out. And of course, let me do a little part 7 recap. What I was talking about in part 7 was spring, summer, and a little bit of fall. And the fact that me and my partner came up with the decision that we want to go to Colombia this winter because we were like big dreaming. Having the falling out with my partner's brother, going from working with him to realizing that that my codependency had kicked in and I was relying on him for like opportunities and work experiences and stuff, and that I was realizing I need to start bringing experiences and opportunities to myself. I need to meet people that I need to meet my own type of people that resonate with me. Okay. And yeah, which brings me to part 8, where I'm going to talk about the end of summer, fall, and me and my partner making the choice to go to Colombia. So let's get into some storytelling. Okay. So yeah, like I was saying, guys, in part 7, I came up with my dream career idea, Wellness Collective, and it was kind of like a trial and error last summer. I managed to, so what Wellness Collective is a community, a community where I go and collab with other creatives to host events. And I was hosting yoga events. I hosted a meditation event. I hosted I hosted like a portrait and wine out part 2, 6-pin stamps, and yeah, I was doing all that. So I would say I hosted like 4 or 5 events last summer, and also I was hustling and trying to make money with photography gigs. So I was picking up photography gigs here and there. So me and my partner basically were like the whole summer, the remainder of the summer until fall, we were like struggling to get by. The bills were getting paid, praise God, yeah, praise God, but we were struggling, and we wanted to go to Colombia. So it was like, okay, like yeah, the bills are getting paid, but no money is getting put away for Colombia, right? So I'm like, well, let me start selling things. So I would say like September was mostly us like figuring out how we're gonna get money to for Colombia. So I was selling things. I was still trying to get some photography gigs. I was running specials. I was doing what I could. And while this was all happening though, I was feeling discouraged because I'm like, damn, like I should have just went back to landscape, and I have nothing saved, and we want to leave the country, and I don't think that's going to happen. And yeah, and I was just like kind of feeling to like give up on that plan of Colombia overall altogether. So yeah, while I was kind of feeling down and hopeless, things were starting to get chaotic at the same time. It was like reality check after reality check. Like didn't make you didn't make enough money this summer to save, Shireen, to be stable. Like right now, your life is unstable, right? But then like shout out to Lamore Photography, which is my brother and sister-in-law's business. They had called me and they're like, we're going to fly you out to Toronto so you can work for us for 3 days. And they flew me out. They flew me out. Like they let me know the day of, okay. And they booked my flight and they flew me out the next day. It was like, wow. And they flew me out to work this black tech event with them. And Ludacris was performing there. So yeah, I was working for them. I got decent pay and I got flown out. Oh, great, amazing service. Shout out to Lamore Photography. Okay, it's a photography agency, all right. So I was working for them, and I flew out, and this kind of like lift my spirits up. It kind of gave me hope. Like, no, this is gonna be your life. Like, girl, you're gonna be flying out, doing different jobs. You're gonna be flying out, collabing with other creatives, hosting events. Like, it made me hopeful. And what happens is when Shireen's in her hopeful energy, I become a little radical and risky. So I was on my risky high while I was in Toronto. This is now in October. So fast forward into October. And I came back with my risky high energy. And also, oh yeah, So before I even flew to Toronto, I told you things were getting chaotic. And it was like reality check after reality check. Me and my partner, we realized like, okay, yeah, we realized, okay, we want to go to Colombia. We should not be paying rent. And let alone we should move in with his parents. Because at that point, his parents were also moving as well. And before I even get into my landlord tenant drama, I also forgot to mention, guys, yeah, this my whole summer was great. It was great, minus the struggling part. It was great because I got to experience Calgary summer because I didn't get to the first time because gave it all to landscaping. I also went to Jamaica for my sister's wedding. Sure as hell didn't recover from that financially. And yeah, overall, me and my partner were just like, we were just experiencing Alberta, and it was fun. But yeah, so yeah, like that was a good part of the summer, was like when it's collective, experiencing the trip to Jamaica. I was doing what I wanted to do, but financially unstable. So bringing me back now to this landlord tenant story, how me and my partner came up. It was kind of like we didn't just say we should move. We were kind of like forced to move as well because my landlord, I told you, yeah, they were nice and empathetic at the beginning. They let me pay late, but it's why I realized they were so nice and empathetic is because they're simply just lazy. And why I'm saying that is because what happened, why we were kind of forced to move out. They had lied and said that they physically delivered a copy of my lease to the door in the summertime because my lease ended in September. So they said they delivered one in the summertime, and they didn't. And because they said that, they claimed that was their 3 months notice, but realistically, I didn't get a notice. And I can say it's my fault in the sense I knew my lease ended in September and I didn't go out of my way to ask them where's my lease at for that because I kind of wasn't really trying to bother them because I was already paying my rent late. So fast forward into when my lease ended, they're like, okay, well, we're tired of your shit. We're going to up your rent. We gave you a 3 months notice. Lies. And we're also going to charge you month to month rent for the month of September because my lease is up because I didn't sign any lease because there was no freaking lease. My history of being there, I've always had. They would always send me a digital lease. I never had a physical copy ever. Okay, but I don't want to get into that whole rant. That's the whole landlord tenant drama. We realized, okay, we're not paying 1,300 for rent, especially if we want to go to Colombia, and I don't want to live here with a bunch of lazy landlords. So to wrap up part 8, fast forwarding back so that was all the chaotic thing that was going on. I was having drama with my landlord. Me and my partner decided to move, and we were also, yeah, we were struggling, and we also wanted to go to Colombia. So we were figuring out ways how we can make quick money to go to Colombia. And to wrap it up, fast forwarding back to after the whole photography thing. This was October now. The end of October, I flew back from Toronto to Calgary, and I was on my risky radical high, and I told my partner, because we were already moving in with the family, we didn't have to worry about rent. Fuck it, we're going to Colombia. And it's like, not only did I decide that we're going to Colombia, like at that point he kind of already decided he was going to, and he was going to go with or without me because he's from there and he has some family there. So he was gonna go with or without me. But yeah, I came back and I decided, nah, you ain't leaving me here. So I came back and we booked. We booked for Colombia. And not only did we book for Colombia, yeah, without any savings, we booked for 3 months. So we're like, nah, we want to dodge half of the winter. So we booked from November to the end of January. And I'm going to end off part 8 with that. Part 9, I'll get into the days coming up to Colombia, how we made some money, and going up to Colombia, and then and I'll talk a little bit about Colombia. So, for those of you that made it to the end, thank you for listening. I'll catch you guys in part 9. Peace.